Hi there, I'm pleased to have you joining me for this class that we're going to work on some bone strength and balance exercises. Now, standing up is a great position to work on our muscles through our legs and our glutes to help for balance and also for bone health. So we'll be standing up for the whole class. Just have a chair handy because that's good to hold on to as we're doing our balance exercises. So we're going to start just standing away from the chair a tiny little bit. And we're just going to pop the feet hip distance apart, so just about here, and toes pointing straight ahead. And one of the things we really need to focus on, which is so important, is that elongation and that length through the spine. You know, really just improving our posture, which will help avoid this rounded shape. So the first thing we'll do is simply just to lift your toes up off the floor and spread them out as much as you can. And then feel how that sort of activates the arch of your foot. And then you can feel that sensation going up through the calf muscles here on the inside and then the inner seam of the leg. And then you might even feel a little lift through your waist and through the pelvic floor. And then let that ripple right up through your body. And imagine you've got, you know, a piece of string lifting you up from the crown of the head, nice and tall. And then just let your toes go back down. So we'll start that again from the feet. So the toes lift up, feel the arch of the foot, the inner part of the leg sort of lifting and engaging, and then feel that lift through the center, all the way up through the crown of the head, the back of the neck's nice and long, and your shoulders are rolled back, and just arms easy beside you. And then just let your toes go back down on the ground. Okay, so we're going to be thinking of that lift through a lot of the exercises we do today. One of the most important exercises, and I'd love to teach it to you now, is a hip hinge. And it's such a practical move because you'll see that you need to do this when you pick things up off the floor or you need to bend down, that kind of thing. So let me show you. I'm just going to go side on so you can see the shape of my back, because the shape of your body when we do these things is super important. So again, feet hip distance apart. And I'm just going to sit back like I was going to sit in a chair. My knees track over your toes. Now that can feel, if that's hard on the knees, maybe your knees are too far forward and you actually need to like send the hips back a little bit more. And see how my back's flat? A mistake, which is easy to do, but a lot of people might end up like this. So I want you just to think of reaching your tailbone out behind you, opening the chest, and then when you stand back up, you just hinge back up like that. So you go again, you just tip down, and then straight back up. See here, I've just got my hands here at the front of the hip. So when I fold down, I should sort of fold on top of my fingers there. Then you know that you're really folding at the hip. Okay, so we're just keeping the back straight and tip and then push back up. So this is really good for our glutes for balance because we want to avoid falling and we want to feel steady so we don't hurt our bones through fractures. So super good exercise to practice. And of course, this is what we need for when we want to bend down, pick up the washing basket, that kind of thing. So we could add the arms actually. Imagine you're bending down to pick something up. So arms go down. Keep your shoulders back though, arms in their socket, and then pull the elbows back up as you stand. So down with the arms and then pull back up. So as we, if you keep going with more classes with me, you'll be able to know that we could add hand weights with this kind of thing as well. So we're not using hand weights today, but a lot of the arm exercises that we do, we can increase the challenge by adding hand weights as you keep progressing. How about we just do 3 more? I'm feeling warm already. So squeeze from your glutes to stand up and tip back. Good, we're nearly there. Last one. Good job. And down. Okay, so now we're just going to stand hip distance apart with the feet again. Find your nice length through your spine. Just soften your knees a little bit. That's it. Rather than have them locked. And then we just lift up the arms over your head. Now, if your arms don't go all the way back, that's okay. Just leave them where they feel comfy and bring them down. So we can get that lift, that length, but the shoulders still drop down. Yeah. So in my Pilates classes, you only move to where it feels comfy. You don't have to push into any pain. Won't achieve anything. We just work to where you're at, and then as you keep practicing, you'll find more movement in your body. You'll find that you get stronger, that the exercises seem easier as you keep practicing. It's just step by step. Now, why don't you take a nice deep breath in as the arms go up and down. And again, nice deep breath in and out. And lift up the arms and hold them there. Then here, we're just going to do a little shuffle. So it kind of feels like you're reaching to grab something. One arm up and then the other. So this is, I'm getting this nice little shift here through the ribs. We want to keep the rib cage and your back moving. This is a nice way to do it. And you might even notice your waist working. Just keep your shoulders soft, even though your arms are reaching up. That's it. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then just let your arms open out to the side and back and down. And now the next thing, we'll just turn and face your chair. So put your fingertips on the chair for balance. Depending on the height of your chair, I always say fingertips, because if you hold on, it might just round you, and we don't want that. So we want to keep that length, fingertips on the chair. Find that length, and then all we're going to do is just come up onto the tippy toes and then pop the heels back down. So this is really good for that feeling of length and creating that through your body, the calf muscles, your ankles. So we're just going up and down. Spread out your toes if you can when you lift up. And just feel that little lift, not just from the heels, but through the whole body. When I think of that, my tummy automatically kind of just pulls in and up. And then if you want to challenge yourself, you can just go, rather than holding on, maybe you just do, 2 fingers. And then see how you go without. So your hands are just beside you, and you find a point to look at, and you're finding that control. That's it. So in my classes, I always can show you, level 1, and then as you progress, I'll show you could make it harder by doing this, and then if you want it harder, you do it like this. So really, you can just make it work for you, and that's the whole point of it. You will progress, but you've got to find the exercises and make them work for you. So if you wanted to make it a little harder now, you're feeling like that's fine, you could go up and then just lower down a little way with the heels and then lift up, or a little tiny down and up. So, but if you find like that's too much, just go back to the first step. Because you know your body, we want it to feel a little bit challenging, but definitely no pain. And then let's all put our heels down now. Got a bit of a wobble in my legs there. Now, another nice one to do here with the fingers on the chair is to stand on one leg. Now I'm just going to face you. You just stay looking at your chair, lift up the leg. Sometimes you can hike up the hip. Okay, so what we want to do is just drop the hip down so that you're square. Now, I always look at the seam of my pants. So if it's on a diagonal, I know that I need to adjust. The leg I'm standing on, I soften it a little bit, soften the knee a little bit, spread out the toes of the foot that's on the ground. Now, even just standing on one leg, you're going to feel this work through the supporting leg, through the glutes, which is really good for our balance and our strength there. So now I've got my fingers on the chair, and I'm just going to point the toe out to the side and bring the knee back up. So, I would suggest 10 like this. Well, let's keep going with me. That's 3. We'll see how we feel. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think that feels pretty good. Pop that foot down. Same on the other side. So again, I just sort of adjust, make sure I've got this nice line through my hips, lift up, and we just tap it out to the side and back up. 1, 2, keep your length. 3, 4, 5, soften the knee you're standing on. 7, 8, 9, 10. Good job. Put that foot down. Nice work. My mat's getting crooked. Okay. Now, another good one here, standing facing your chair. You're going to point one toe back behind you. Now, we're going to keep our back straight rather than rounding forward, but we're just going to lift up the leg and let our body tip a little bit towards the chair. The leg I'm standing on goes a little bit bent, yeah, and then I just tip back up. So tip forward and back. So really stretch that leg back behind you, and your elbows are just tucking in here beside your body, so it almost feels like a bit of a push-up. And I've got my collarbone still feeling nice and wide. Okay, so you're like a seesaw. That's what I think of. And then other side. So get comfy. So get set up is the thing before you start. There's no rush to get going, but when you align yourself well, the exercises are effective. So it's worth just setting up and then a little tip. So don't feel like you have to lift the leg super high. I want you mostly to think of trying to keep your back and your leg in that straight line. Maybe in front of a mirror sometime to check. It's hard to get a sense of where your body is sometimes. Since I started doing my Pilates classes recording, it's helped me a lot because I could look at my video and think, oh, I didn't know my leg was, I thought it was lower or I thought it was higher. That's good. That's probably about even. And then bring that leg all the way back. And then we're just going to have wide legs now. Toes turned out just a tiny little bit. How's it feeling? Good? All right. Now we're going to do another one of those hinges where you tip forward. So we're just going to bend the knees and send the hips way back and just drop the arms there and then just pull them back in, just like we did when we had our legs in. So down and back. So really send the hips back and down and back. So you don't have, watch your knees are going over your toes. So if they tip inwards, that's when it could really hurt. And you don't have to go down really far. Okay, you don't have to go down further to make it more effective. See how I've only bent my knees a little bit, but my back's really straight and I'm pulling my tummy in to support my lower back and in. So hold it here now. So from here, we're just going to lift one arm out to the side and back, and then lift the other arm out to the side and back. I'll do it here. Out and back, out and back. One more on each side. And then bring the arms back and in. Good. Walk the legs in, heel toe, till you're hip distance apart again. And then we're just going to reach the arms up here. Okay. So we're going to do a little up and then back and up and back. So I'm moving the upper arm back to work my upper back muscles and up and strengthen my shoulders. Sometimes I would pick up weights for these ones, but you'll see doing these with me, you're going to feel the effort through the upper back. It's almost like I'm squeezing my elbows back, sort of like a squish of my upper back when I go back for these ones. Keeping our upper back strong is going to be excellent for our posture. So we've got to strengthen those muscles. And then we're just going to hold the arms up here, draw in a little bit through your tummy. That just means pulling the belly button back towards the spine. And then from here, we're going to bring the hands together. So the palms are looking at your face, and then we open. So it's just shut the doors and open. Now, if you can't get your arms together, just go to where you can and then open them, okay? So if you can't touch, that's okay. You feel that nice movement through your upper back. You're doing really well. And then we just put the arms out in front like this, and then we straighten the arms out and then bend them from the side. So sometimes if any of you make a fist and you imagine you're holding a heavy weight, does that change things for you? It does for me. It makes my muscles switch on. If I just imagining I'm holding on to something heavy like my weights, that's what I love about Pilates. It's a very intelligent form of movement because you can use your brain to, you know, activate what you need in your body, use your breath. It's mindful and thoughtful. And then we just hold it here. Then we're going to open out to the side like we did before. Are your arms getting tired? Mine are. Then we just do a little up. Okay, so we're just going to do quick ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then just bring the arms all the way back and down. Give them a little shake. Feeling good? Hand on the chair. And what we'll do here is we're going to come back to that standing on one leg. We reach the leg out, soften the knee you're standing on, and we're going to flex this time. So flex through the foot, and I'm reaching out through the heel. Again, my hips are as square as I can make them, and I'm just going to do a little out and in with this leg. So 10 again is good. I think that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then hold it there, and we're just going to do a little up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and bring it back down. Same on the other side. So you can move your chair around if you want to. Soften the leg you're standing on, make yourself square, and then it's just out, in. Keep going. Fix my mat. There we are. And then hold the leg out there, and we just do a little up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and bring it back and in. So then to finish, I'm going to show you this move that will feel really nice. So face your chair again, fingertips on the chair, and we just lift one arm up and just reach it back like you were doing backstroke in the pool, and then that will do, and then just bring it back and front, and then go back. So you're getting a little bit of arching of the upper back. Just look to the side the tiniest little bit, not too much. So it's just a little open and back. And open and back. Should feel nice because you've got that movement in your shoulders. You've warmed up your shoulders. And last one here. Good, and then just give your shoulders a roll back. So to finish, you just lift up, roll back and down. You go up, back and down. Last one. It's almost like setting everything in place, ready to be mindful of your posture for the rest of the day. So that's you all done. Good work.